I wish to give a general statement regarding the demise of Prophetess Mary Akatsa. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 43, I wish to make a statement regarding the passing on of the founder of Jerusalem Church of Christ, Prophetess Mary Akatsa, on 26th October 2024. Honorable Speaker, the late Prophetess Mary Akatsa, a legendary preacher, was born on 2nd December 1964 in Ebusiralo village in Luanda, Vihiga County. Prophetess Akatsa typifies the unwavering resilience and determination of the girl child. Having lost her parents at the age of about 8 years old, she had to work extra hard to shape the path that led to her destiny. In her quest to earn a living as an orphan, the late Prophetess Akatsa moved to Nairobi, where she worked as a house girl, as a house help in Kikuyu, Kiambu County, until she left to do God's ministry. Her journey as a prophetess began in Muslim area, presently Kabira Ward in Nairobi County, where she founded the Jerusalem Church of Christ and was the first to ever bring us a person who she called Jesus. Honorable Speaker, apart from preaching and healing the souls of people, the late Prophetess Mary Akatsa also healed lost futures and transformed the lives of many young people in Kawangware, where her church is domiciled. She will be fondly remembered for drug abuse and crime by counseling them, offering them a place to call home, and providing them food and other basic needs. These acts of mercy by the late Prophetess Mary Akatsa through her Jerusalem Church of Christ substantially reduced insecurity in Kawangware and will surely outlive her life. The departed prophetess will also be remembered for her unique approach that blended Christianity with African traditional spirituality, characterized by vibrant music, drumming, chanting, and spirited faith healing. She will also be celebrated for her strict enforcement of Christian values, including punctuality. The no-nonsense late prophetess never tolerated lateness for church services and had no patience for congregants who came late to her church. Honorable Speaker, as the late Prophetess Mary Akatsa will be laid to rest on 16th November 2024, she can be celebrated as a woman who contributed immensely to the growth of the African evangelical movement in Kenya. I take this early opportunity to condole with the family and friends of the late Prophetess Mary Akatsa and the Christian fraternity for the loss of this extraordinary servant of God. May her soul rest in peace. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, KJ. 1 minute.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you. I also want to thank my twin MP, Member of Parliament for Dagoretti North, for honoring the late Mary Akatsa with this eulogy and presenting it to the House of Parliament so that we can communicate it to the world that a great Kenyan has gone to go with the Lord. Mr. Speaker, the Prophetess Mary Akatsa is not an ordinary person. She was a person of great exploits, rising from a hustler to become one of the biggest household names in Kenya. And Mr. Speaker, I've got to say that while her style of evangelizing might not have been your usual, it would have been curious in the way she approached it. I remember as a young person being told of a story of Jesus Christ coming to Kawangware and departing Kawangware in a Peugeot 504, Mr. Speaker. And
You know very well that's not true. Yes, yes. Yes, Osoro.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also want to join the Honorable Beatrice in mourning with the people and the Christian fraternity for the loss of Prophetess Mary Akatsa. Honorable Speaker, My family has got so many children named Mary Akatsa. My family has got so many children named Ishmael. My family has got so many children named Lorna, because Lorna happened to be the mother of Mary Akatsa, and Ishmael happened to be the father of Mary Akatsa. Honorable Speaker, I was a young man, a young boy, when I never knew then, but I was a young boy when Mary Akatsa, and I had attended that service as a very young boy, when Mary Akatsa told us that Jesus Christ had visited us in church, Honorable Speaker. I was a young boy, and I must confess that I believed her then, because I believed that I had seen Jesus with my naked eyes, with my very own naked eyes, Honorable Speaker. Later, I got to realize that it was the passion of Christianity that she had in her that pulled her and pushed her to even create a Jesus by herself. And I believe now she's met the real Jesus, even as she rests. May her soul rest in eternal peace. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Walter Wino.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. This is a request for a statement regarding revival of South Nyanza Sugar Company, Sony, and other state-owned sugar mills. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44.2c, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Agriculture and Livestock regarding rehabilitation and revival of Sony and other sugar companies in the country. Honorable Speaker, there are 16 sugar mills in the country with a total processing capacity of 51,450 metric tons of cane per day. However, the current capacity utilization for most mills is estimated to be 56%, which is attributable to old machinery, poor factory equipment maintenance, fluctuating supply of cane, and inappropriate processing technology. Most state-owned sugar mills are operating old and inefficient machinery, limiting sugar production to about 700,241 metric tons against a domestic demand of about 1,100,000 metric tons a year. Bridging the deficit through importation from Comesa region and the international market is hurting profitability of ailing local sugar millers. Honorable Speaker, notably, the cost of sugar production, especially by the state-owned mills, is comparatively high due to inefficiencies along the value chain, inadequate maintenance of factory machinery and equipment, low sugar recovery as a result of poor cane quality, inappropriate processing technologies, and low skill competencies. To mitigate these hindrances, it is necessary for the government to implement its pledge of rehabilitation and revival of Sony and other state-owned companies in the country so as to enhance sugarcane availability, sugarcane supply, and the debottlenecking, as well as process automation of the plants to operate at its optimal levels. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of Departmental Committee on Agriculture and Livestock on the following. A, an outline of the plans in place by the ministry to urgently procure new crushing equipment for Sony Sugar Company to replace the old one, which was acquired in 1979 and now requires Kenya shillings 400 million for maintenance to keep in operating. B, to the immediate and long-term strategies the government plans to implement to curb the frequent equipment breakdown, which impacts heavily on the company's output and results in low production and low morale among workers and farmers. C, the reasons why there has been a delay in paying the outstanding salary arrears of Kenya shillings 800 million for the Sony Sugar Company workers who in the past have endured various economic hardships and poor working conditions at the factory. D, a comprehensive report on the status of sourcing a strategic partner to invest in restoration of the company to profitability, hence improving the welfare of smallholder sugarcane farmers and employees of the Sony Sugar Company. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Owino. Your statement is committed to the Committee on Agriculture. Bring a response in 2 weeks before we break. The statement requested by Honorable Yakub goes to Rhodes, GK. You bring the response in 2 weeks.
I will do so,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Speaker.
Before we go to responses, Honorable Mchomba, I